Hello and welcome to English 3-second lesson entitled Quantities, presented by Mrs. KOHIL, an assistant teacher at Higher School of Industrial Technologies, Annaba. Course objectives. The focus of this section is expressions of quantity. Many of the countable and uncountable nouns will be reviewed, and there is a practice of singular and plural verb forms, much and many, a few and a little, lots of, a lot of, plenty of, and enough. Do you ever take part in teleconferences? These pictures show an experiment in three-dimensional teleconferencing at the University of North Carolina. It's called tele-immersion. How do you think it works? Complete the description of the two pictures. Use is, are, isn't, and aren't. So, in both pictures, there are a lot of pictures on the walls. And there is some electrical equipment on the ceiling. There aren't any windows, so there isn't much light. The office above looks smaller. There is just one person and there is nothing behind the desk. But in the bottom picture, there are 3 people behind the desk and there is more space. When do we say there is and when do we say there are? Which form do we use with singular countable nouns as a person or a desk? Do we use there is or do we use there are? In fact, we use there is. With plural countable nouns such as people, pictures, do we use there is or there are? So we use there are. With uncountable nouns like space, equipment, do we use there is or there are? We use there is. Listen to some people talking about tele-immersion and find out how it works.
14.1.
So these pictures are the same office?
Yes. How many people can you see?
Well, there's one person in the first picture and in the second there are 3. No, 4.
That's right. But only one person is really there. The others are in a different place.
How is this different to teleconferencing?
With this, you can see everything in 3 dimensions, so it feels like you're in the same room.
Ah. Are they wearing 3D glasses?
Yes.
There isn't much light. Are there any windows?
No, we have to control the light. We still have a little work to do on that, but there's enough light to see what you're doing. We use a lot of cameras and projectors. You can see a few of them on the ceiling.
And you project the images onto the empty walls?
That's right. That's the best thing about tele-immersion. You don't have to look at things on a small monitor or screen. We can use walls, tables, so we have plenty of space to display information.
It's wonderful.
Okay, so work with a partner. How many people are really in the office? The answer is only one person is present in the office. How is tele-immersion different to teleconferencing? In tele-immersion, you can see everything in 3 dimensions, so it feels like you are in the same room with the participants. What's unusual about the glasses? These glasses are 3D glasses. Why isn't there much light in the room? Because it has to be controlled. What's on the ceiling? On the ceiling we find cameras and projectors. What's the best thing about tele-immersion? You don't have to look on a small screen. Would you like to communicate with people via tele-immersion? Yes. Why? Because it is more engaging. Complete the words in these statements, then listen again to check your answers. We say, how many people can you see? There isn't much light. We have to control the light. We still have a little work to do on that, but there is enough light to see what you are doing. We use a lot of cameras and projectors. You can see a few of them on the ceiling. We can use walls, tables, so we have plenty of space to display information. Next activity, complete the rule with countable and uncountable. We use many with countable nouns. How many people can you see? We use much with uncountable nouns. Example, there isn't much light. We use a little with uncountable nouns. Example, we have a little more work to do. We use a few with countable nouns. Example, you can see a few cameras. Next, countable and uncountable nouns. So, English nouns can be countable and uncountable. Countable nouns are nouns that we can count and they take an S or a plural form. Example, how many boxes do we need? You can answer 1 box, 2 boxes. How many bubble wrap we will need? You can say 1, you can say 2 bubble wraps. Countable nouns have a plural form. Example, box, boxes, truck, trucks, man, men. Whereas uncountable nouns, they are always singular. Equipment, we never say equipments. Money, we never say monies. Uncountable nouns are nouns that we cannot count. They are either material or substances. Uncountable nouns take a singular verb form. We say the packaging costs a lot. Some of our equipment is fragile. Are these nouns countable or uncountable? Equipment. Equipment is uncountable. Computer, countable. Machine, countable. Machinery, uncountable. Packaging, uncountable. Pack, countable. Fact, countable. News, uncountable. Information, uncountable. Data, uncountable. Advice, uncountable. Suggestion, countable. Defect, countable. Waste, uncountable. Pollution, uncountable. Petrol, uncountable. Gas, countable and uncountable. Research, uncountable. For further information and practice on countable and uncountable nouns, you may find the link in the slides. You should click on that. Choose the correct word. We say, could I have a little? Or we say, could I have a few help? We say, could I have a little help? Because help is uncountable. We say, how much or how many money do you have on? We say, how much money do you have on? Because money is uncountable. Do we say only a little, or we say only a few of our products are made from recycled materials? We say only a few of our products, because products are countable. Do we say there aren't many, or do we say there aren't much suppliers who can make this part? We say there aren't many suppliers, because suppliers is countable. These plants are dying. Can you give them a little? or few water. So water is uncountable, so we say little water. We don't have much or many paper left. Can you order some? We say we don't have much paper left. Paper here is uncountable. We only need a little or a few minutes to get ready. We say we only need few minutes to get ready. How much or how many windows does your office have? We say how many windows does your office have, because window is a countable noun. So talking about quantities, much and many are common in questions and negatives. We say how much time do we have? And we say there aren't many people there. In positive sentences, we usually say a lot of, or lots of, plenty of, or enough. We can use these expressions with countable and uncountable nouns. We have lots of equipment and a lot of spare parts. We have plenty of ideas, but we don't have enough time. Enough means as much, as many as necessary. Plenty means enough and more. Activities. Thank you. For further information and practice about quantities, go to the Moodle platform.